Good question. And we have reached chapter 3.
これはかつてある教団を治めていた愚かな女教祖の話。
This is the story of a foolish woman who became the founder of a certain order.
彼女は女神のようだと誰かが言った。
Some referred to her as a goddess.
高貴かつ聡明。素顔をベールで隠してもなお信徒を魅了する美しさ。
And she was killed by freaking Capuchin. Probably, I think. If it's the same lady. She was graceful and intelligent, captivating her followers with beauty that could not be hidden by the veil covering her face. Maybe not, though.
ではなぜその女教祖は愚かだと断じられたのか。
So why was this female minister known as a fool?
理由は単純。人を見る目がなかったからだ。
The reason is simple. Her eyes did not see people for who they truly were.
いとも簡単に裏切られ、女はまたかと波に飲まれてつぶやいた。
She was easily fooled and betrayed, and muttered again before being swallowed by the waves. After reading the diary containing the curses and regrets of the late queen, we put our lab coats on again and rejoined Donuts, who had just finished his meeting. In the end, we were all able to leave the castle unscathed. But what about the guard who we knocked unconscious? He's gonna report us. If we stayed at the institutes, there was a chance that the royal guard would come after us, so we ended up returning to Adolphe's house, where we decided to share the information we found with Donuts. Queen Christine succeeded the throne after reliver technology was developed, which was around 60 years ago.
クリスティーヌ女王を暗殺したのは今即位している彼女の叔父とその娘だろうな。
Sounds like Queen Christine was assassinated by the current king and his daughter.
しかも彼女の功績を丸ごと奪う形でだ。この事実が公になれば民からの反発は免れないだろう。
They took credit for everything she's done, too. I bet there'll be a coup d'etat the moment this goes public. Unlike other countries, the population of Aberchel was quite small. Even if they did use reliver rights to force the people to listen, it would only go so far. I wouldn't be surprised if the people chose Sion as their savior and had him lead the revolution to bring down the royal family. Let's go! Here! I demand we have a revolution with Sion as the head. Not that he'd want to do it. He wouldn't have any interest in that. But I say do it. I like the idea. I support it. Praise our Lord and Savior, Sion Brofice. But if the royal family knew we found out about the assassinations and their involvement in the curse, they would probably use every means at their disposal to get rid of us. We needed to keep ourselves well hidden. Donuts, you were alive around then, right? Do you know anything about what she was investigating?
僕当時生身の5歳児だったんですよ。さすがに覚えてないですけど、暗殺に関しては特に驚くことでもないですね。
He might be the child. See, he would have been child back then. He might be the queen's child. I was only 5 years old back then. You know? I can't say I remember much, but I'm not surprised about the assassination bits.
なぜだ？
Why's that?
あの人たち今もシアンさんに暗殺者とか普通に差し向けてきますし。
Well, those folks are still sending assassins to Cyan even now. Huh? Wait a minute. Is he alright?
ああ、ご心配なく。毎回本人が弱みを握った上で返り討ちにしてるんで。
No worries there. He always uses their weaknesses to turn the tables and have his revenge. As he should. That's my man. I hadn't met Cyan before, but I could tell that he was strong both physically and mentally. And we love that. We love that here. As if wanting to change the subject, Donut looked at Ankou standing quietly in the corner of the room.
あの人、どちら様ですか？さっきからすっごい僕の方を見てきて怖いんですけど。
Oh, baby. So, anyone gonna tell me who he is? He's been staring at me and I'm starting to get scared.
幽霊のようなもんだ。気にすんな。
He's like a ghost, so don't let him bother you.
そんな無茶な。本物の死神だってあんなにすごい存在感はないと思いますよ。
It's not helping. I doubt even death would have a strong presence. Uncle's usual carefree demeanor was completely absent. He didn't refute Adolphe's remark, and continued to stare at Donut without saying anything. Even I was starting to feel uneasy from the intensity of his eyes. Does he recognize Donuts? I wonder if a young reviver is rare to him. As I thought about why, Donut cleared his throat so that we could continue the topic at hand.
まあともあれ、王族が呪いに関わっているかもってことは。
Well, in any case, the fact that the royal family may be involved in the curse proves one thing.
呪いには人間が関与できる明確な原因があるって証明になりますよね。
That there's a definite reason why humans here are connected to the curse.
シアンさんの言葉を借りるなら、この世を滑るのは神などではなく人間の英知であり、すべての不可解には理由がある。
As Cyan would put it, no god rules this world, only human wisdom. There was always a reason behind everything.
ってとこですか？
Makes sense, right? If that's true, that means there's still hope in continuing our investigation.
それでもまだ手がかりは少ないが、死神を見つけ出して殺せとかいう無理難題よりはマシだな。
But we don't have many leads. I guess it's still better than trying to find and kill death itself. We still haven't uncovered the truth, but Donut looked very unhappy that we found new information about the curse that had long been hidden.
で、それで お二人はそんなすごい手記が残っている隠し部屋をどうやって見つけたんですか？
I have to ask, how did you two find a hidden room that contains such valuable information? About that, I explained to Donut the strange phenomenon that occurred in the archives, which opened the way to the room underground. When I passed a certain area, a beautiful emblem of light appeared in front of me.
文様？
Emblem?
口で説明するより絵で描いた方が早いだろ。
I was gonna say that. I think it'd be faster if we drew the thing. Oh, you're right. I borrowed a paper and pen from Adolphe and did my best to draw the beautiful design. Pretty good. It looks something like this. I don't have all the details exact, but this should be pretty close. What's strange is I feel like I've seen it before. I passed the drawing to Adolphe. When he nodded in confirmation, I then gave it to Donuts. For some reason, Donut froze in place. He stared at the drawing from the top to bottom, as if completely entranced by the image. Is there a problem, Donut?
何か気づいたことでもあるのか？
What, do you recognize it? Donut suddenly snapped back to reality.
ああ、すみません。こんな綺麗な文様、なかなかお目にかかれないのでつい見とれてしまって。
Nah. He knows something. He knows something about it. Sorry. I never seen something so beautiful. I guess I just couldn't help but admire it.
あなたが見たのは多分スキャンタイプの遺伝子認証システムですね。うちの研究所にも導入されてます。
What you saw was probably a scanner for a gene authentication system. We have them at the Institute too. Let me see. We didn't register our DNA with any system. Maybe we're the child. Somehow I doubt it. It said the father was killed. And this was 80 years ago, so yeah, definitely not us. Never mind. That's kind of ridiculous. I don't know where my brain was at. But we could be related. We could even be related to, Donuts. He explained that it was a security system where one registered their blood to trigger something to unlock in their presence.
対象がリライバーの場合、体に刻まれた文様が浮かび上がることがあるんです。
If the authorized party is a reliver, it's usually their mark that appears. I never knew such an innovative security system existed. My life was so distant from the technology that it felt it came from another world.
そんな優れものがどうしてこいつに反応した？
If it's so advanced, what did it unlock for her?
それは僕にもなんとも。隠し部屋を作ったその女王様の血を引いている王族の一人とかなんちゃって。
I can't say for sure. Maybe she has the blood of the former queen or something. Just a guess. That can't be. My parents gave birth to me in the licorice field.
産み落とした。
Out in the open?
こいつは生まれて間もないところをリコリスノワージュの花畑に捨てられていたらしい。
She was found in the licorice field. We think they abandoned her there.
リコリスノワージュの花畑。うん。ジョーが協力者とやらと落ち合う場所として決めた場所と同じですね。
Maybe it was the same location where the queen and her supporters met.
手記に登場したノワージュ家さんとやらが所有していることといい、やたらとあの花の話ばかりが出てくるのが気になるな。
The other diary mentioned that the Neorch family caring for the licorice. I'm curious now with how that flower is constantly brought up. Do you think the licoricers are somehow involved? I mean, the death that occurs when you pluck them is similar to the effect of the curse.
ええ、直接の原因ではなくても、咲いた状態のリコリスノワージュには何かが絡んでいるんでしょう。
Well, I do think that the licorice Neorches are involved in some way, even if they're not the direct cause.
とは言っても、倒った瞬間に死んでしまっては調べようがないんですよね。
That said, there's no way of testing that, since we can't pick the flowers without dying. But someone can. He mentions that some have attempted to examine the flowers as possible reasons for the curse, but all attempts failed because after they were plucked, everyone present suffered and died shortly thereafter. Ankou, can you do us a solid and, grab a flower? But if what Yves and Ankou said was true, the licorice Neorches weren't the problem. I wanted to express that to Donut, but Adolphe and I both stayed quiet on the matter, since we didn't have Yves's approval to discuss his mission with others. Then again, we couldn't expect him to continue offering support if we kept so much secret from him, including Ankou's identity. I need to discuss with everyone later whether we could let him in. Let him in!
それじゃあ僕は一度研究所に戻ってリコリスについての文献を軽く調べてみます。
Well, I'm gonna head back to the institutes and see if we have any documents related to the licorices. Thank you, and please be careful. He was very quick to follow the lead we uncovered to confirm our rule out the licorice's involvement. After confirming through the transmitter that there was no commotion from the castle, Donut set off for the institutes. To be safe, Adolphe would be escorting him back as his bodyguard, but hearing his transmitter go off, he quickly headed inside to answer the call. We decided to keep the assassination of the queen and her connections to the curse as secrets, so that we won't be in danger, but...
信頼できる人になら協力者になってもらうのもいいでしょうね。お二人の場合はイブさんたちクルーンさんでしょうか。
I think it's a good idea to get someone you can trust to help. But I'm guessing that description only matches Yves at Karun. From your perspective, is Cyan trustworthy?
どうでしょう。リライバー研究と呪いの解明、どちらにより興味があるか次第。 ですかね。
I'm not sure. It'll depend on whether he's more interested in reliable research or learning the truth behind the curse.
あ、そうそう。例の遺伝子認証システム、多分故障で誤作動しただけだと思いますが。
Before I leave, I think the gene authentication scanner might have activated because of a malfunction, but
一応、あなたの血液を取らせてもらってもいいですか？
can I take a
王
sample
族
of
じ
your
ゃなく
blood
ても
just in case?
城の関係者の血縁って可能性もありますし。
Even if you're not royalty, you might be related to someone at the castle. Donut's profession must have had him ready for anything, as he brought out a medical kit from his pouch for taking blood samples. He's gonna be interested what he finds. Oh. I hadn't had any blood drawn out from me since I was little, when Mother had me take some tests to see if I had any diseases. I wasn't too fond of those needles, but I should offer him my...
ダメだ、姫君。
No? Oh, okay. No, dear princess.
どんなに小さくとも、君の美しい肌に傷をつけさせるわけにはいかない。
No matter how small, you mustn't lay a scratch on your beautiful skin. I guess he's afraid of what the results of our blood would entail. How people would react. But it's also a very important part of figuring out what the curse is. So I get why he's doing it, but at the same time, you're preventing us from solving the issue we're trying to solve. Ankou quietly moved next to me and stopped me from extending my arm. Donut and I looked at him in surprise. Ankou gracefully moved in front of me and took a step toward Donuts. Like before, he stared at Donut's face again.
僕の顔に何かついてますです？
Excuse me, is there something on my face? Donut frowned, probably because he sensed something was different about Ankou based on his appearance and presence.
君は
You...
一体誰だ？
Who are you?
彼のそばに君のような少年などいなかったはずだが。
I do not recall him. Blank and blank and blank. A young man like you. Blank 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 blank. Do you not call him... Well, if any of my suspicions are true, it also wouldn't be surprising if he took someone else's identity in order to protect himself, especially if he is the child of the royal family. Because he wouldn't be able to keep his name, naturally. Yeah, so it could easily have someone else's identity. It would be the, Because, you know, when you're alive, you can take a different body. So this might actually be Salome's son's body, but with the child of the royal family in it. Although it could still be hers. I don't know, there's so many possibilities.
Eh?
Uncle tilted his head in bewilderment, while mumbling to himself. Who is he? But he already introduced himself.
もしかして忘れられちゃった感じです。割と覚えやすい名前だと思ってたんだけどな。
Oh, maybe he forgot. I thought it was a name that was easy to remember. Ankou didn't respond, and continued to stare silently at Don's face until...
さほど気にすることではないか。大方によって以上生き延びた人間の子供だろう。
I suppose it's nothing of concern. He must be one of the children who survived beyond... due to the children who survived beyond... I don't know.
はい？なんて？
Huh? What did you just say? Ankou nodded. He quietly headed back inside the house, as if satisfied by the answer he gave to his own question. Ankou's intervention muddled the request to have my blood sampled. Probably weirded out over the interaction, Tona quickly left with Adolphe as soon as he returned. I want to know more
ど
about
うして
Donut's...
アドルフさんはリライバーになるのをそんなにも嫌がるんですか？
Adolphe, may I ask why you're so reluctant to become a reliver?
なんだいきなり。
Where'd that come from? They cautiously made their way to the institutes. Adolphe frowned for a moment at the young man's question, but he calmly responded as they continued walking.
人の事情に踏み込みたいなら、まずは自分の事情から語れ。
If you're gonna ask me a personal question first, then answer me something first. Whatever.
お前はなぜいきなり呪いを解きたいなんて言い出した？
Why did you agree to help us find a way to break the curse?
それは前に説明した通り研究者としての好奇心で。
Well, like I said before, I'm curious as a researcher and...
見くびるなよ、ダーハト。
Don't underestimate me, Donut.
お前みたいな子供の姿のリライバーは実年齢を問わず侮られることが多い。
A reliver with a young appearance is often treated like a child, regardless of their age. Oh, are they?
今の地位をつかむまでは相当な苦労と努力をしてきただろう。
I'm sure you've gone through a lot to get to where you are.
そんな人間が好奇心一つのために必死に積み上げてきた自分の立場を危険にさらすとは思えない。
Don't underestimate a researcher. And I doubt you'd risk the position you worked so hard for to earn... just for the sake of curiosity. There must be another reason for his decision.
とはいえ僕もお二人のお手伝いをするだけで呪いが打破できるとは思ってません。
That's sad. I don't think you'll be able to get rid of the curse, even with my help.
そんな簡単な問題ならシアンさんがとっくに解決しているはずですから。
If it were that simple, Cian would have figured it out ages ago. Then why are you gonna help us?
純粋なる知的好奇心ですかね。ずーっとメモリーの研究ばかりで呪いに関してはノータッチでしたから。
Call it pure intellectual curiosity. I've been researching memory all this time and haven't even touched the curse.
それとナディアと出会ったせいかちょっと呪いに対する価値観が変わってしまって。
Besides, I've been seeing the curse in a new light ever since I met Nadia.
少しでも状況がいい方向に動くなら協力します。その代わり今後も依頼抜きでナディアと仲良くしてあげてほしいです。
So I'll help you if it means things can improve. In return, I'll ask that you stay friends with Nadia even without a work order. He spoke as if he wasn't directly involved, but
本当の理由はナディア、リュカ先生の妹の方にあるんじゃないのか。
I take it the real reason is because of Lucas's younger sister, Nadia?
ちょうどあの少女は兄に迫る寿命の件で悩んでたからな。
She's worried about her brother's approaching death too. After Adolphe calmly explained his reasoning, Donut shrugged. A shrug of acceptance and surrender.
当たりです。でも別に隠してたわけじゃないんですよ。ただほんのちょっぴり恥ずかしかったというか。
Bingo. But I wasn't really trying to hide it, you know? I was just a bit embarrassed, that's all.
恥ずかしい。
Embarrassed?
いやだって彼女と初めて出会った時に
Yes, little crush on her? Eh? Well, you see, when I first met her,
よかった。私、変なことを言ってるわけじゃないのね。
thank goodness. I wasn't saying anything strange then.
でも、それならどうしてみんな、私のこの願いを聞いて笑うのかしら。
I wonder why everyone always laughs when I tell them my wish.
記憶も体も、寿命も、全部失いたくないって思うのは、そんなにおかしいこと？
Our memories, our bodies, our lives. Is it so strange to not want to lose it all?
リライバーになって兄様への親愛と兄様とつないだ手を失うのは嫌だわ。
I don't want to become a reliver and lose the love I feel for my brother or the hands he held before.
でもだからといって短命も悲しい。やりたいことはまだたくさんある。兄様が恋人を作るところを見届けたい。
But living such a short life is sad too. There's still a lot I want to do. Like see him find a good person he can marry.
私はこんな体で23歳まで生きるどころじゃないけれど、
In my health like this, I won't live to be 23.
なんで
Why?
他のみんなは健康でいくらでも自由に生きれるのに。
Everyone else is healthy and free to live life how they want.
ありのままの命で長生きしたいという願いを最初から抱きすらしないのかしら。
Maybe she just opened his eyes. So why doesn't anyone want to live a long life? The same one they've had from the beginning.
私、見えない呪いに怯えながら半端な不老をずーっと続けるより、
Rather than living half a life, scared of an invisible curse for the rest of eternity.
十分に生きたと思える人生を大切な人と歩みたいわ。
I want to live a full life of my own, with someone special to me.
人としての正しい生き方を説かれちゃったんですもん。
So she did. She taught me the way to live a proper life as a human. In a country with extreme views on life, very few people had opinions like Nadia's. When they did speak up, they were ridiculed for the ideas and thought of as heretics for not worshipping the current system. But this desire was very similar to the wish Therese expressed.
実は僕にはバックアップを取れずに亡くなった母がいて、彼女を蘇らせるために研究者になったんです。
To be honest, my mother passed away without a backup. I became a researcher in hopes of bringing her back to life. Yeah, he's definitely the child of the former queen. Definitely.
バックアップがない。素材となる記憶や遺伝子がないなら、リライバーには。
But she didn't have a backup. But if you don't have her memories or her genes, becoming a reliver is...
はい。絶望的ですね。
Yes, impossible. Still, he didn't want to give up. If there was some way he could revive his mother's genes and memories, then perhaps...
死ぬ前に抱いていた僕との思い出と感情を両立した上で蘇らせてあげたかった。
I wanted to revive her with the love she felt for me and all the memories we shared together.
仮に母の復活が叶わなくても、僕と同じ願いを抱く恋人たちや家族を救えればいい。
And even if I couldn't revive my mother, I wanted to help other families and lovers who had the same wish.
大事な感情さえメモリーに持ち越せれば、リライバーにはもう欠陥なんてないんだって。
If I could somehow transfer a person's emotions into their memory, the relivers we would make would be complete.
でもね、あなたの言う通り、ナディアと友達になって、なんかちょっと違くないって。
But like you said, even though I became friends with Nadia, it still isn't right, is it?
違う。
Isn't right?
感情を引き継ぐことができても、素敵な体験をしたボディは結局呪いに蝕まれ、たったの23年で朽ち果てます。
Even if I could transfer emotions, the body that experienced the wonderful things would eventually succumb to the curse.
僕で例えるなら、先日ナディアと友達になろうと握手したこの手が、あと数年後にはそっくりそのまま新品に取り替えられちゃうんです。
For example, I shook hands with Nadia when we became friends, but in a few years, this hand will be replaced with a new one. Is that how it works? Like individual body parts? I thought it was just like the whole body.
それってなんか虚しいですよね。
That's pretty sad, don't you think?
そうだな。俺もあいつの頭を撫でた。 この手が欲しい。
Yeah. I don't want to lose the hand I used to pat Ceresa's head either. Donut smiled happily, seeing that Adolphe agreed with his sentiments.
せっかく母が蘇るのなら、僕はナディアが思い描いたような心と体両方の思いを大事にできる普通の人間にしてあげたいんです。
Sorry, I just... It's Edward Elric! Sorry. If I'm gonna revive my mother, I want her to return with all her emotions, so she can live the kind of full life Nadia envisioned.
だから呪いを解きます。まあこれも自己満足なのかもしれませんけど。
That's why I want to get rid of the curse. Well, I guess it's mostly for my own selfishness.
今更だな。
I figured as much.
だが悪くはない変化だと思う。俺はその考え方の方が好ましい。
But it's good you changed your outlook. I happen to agree with you.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
母はナディアと全く同じ普通の人間に憧れ、それになろうとする不思議な人でした。
My mother was just like Nadia. She was an unusual person who sought to become a normal human.
そのせいで彼女の言葉がより心に染みたのかもしれませんね。
I see. I guess that's the reason why what she said really hit me hard. Oh, interesting. Okay, so now that we have a suspicion that Donuts is not his true identity, it's now... His name is now classified as a piece of information in the glossary. Maybe. Donut looked up at the moon, remembering the past. As Adolphe nodded in agreement,
それじゃあ今度はアドルフさんの番です。どうしてそんなにリライバー化を嫌がるんですか？
now it's your turn, Adolphe. Why are you so against becoming a reliver?
エクソシスト教団の皆さんと似たような理由。お金の関係。僕みたいに感情の維持にこだわりがあるとか。
Is it similar to what the society says? Or lack of funds? Or are you concerned about retaining your emotions like I am?
いや、もっと単純な話だ。
No. It's way simpler. After some hesitation, Adolphe responded in exchange for Donut's honesty.
恐ろしいだろ。未知の技術に自分の命を預けるなんて。
It's scary. Putting your life in the hands of unfamiliar technology.
クローンとか脳から記憶を吸い出すとか、一体どういう理屈で実現させてんだ？
Like cloning yourself, then sucking out the memories from your brain? I don't even know how that's possible. The sound of their footsteps gradually shifted in the silence that followed Adolphe's response.
何ですかそれ。 ちゃくちゃ普通な理由じゃないですか。
It's like, ha ha ha, you was. Are you serious? That's the most normal reason I've heard yet.
僕はてっきりもっと複雑な事情があるものと。
I'm hearing that your reasoning's more complex than that. I mean, Donut could probably invite him to, like, observe the process so he understands what it entails. Might make him a little less scared, if that is truly the reason. Although it might make him more afraid. Their footsteps came to a halt with Donut's roaring laughter.
悪かったな、普通で。
Yeah, sorry for being so normal. The ethics of becoming a reliver. The issue of transferring emotions. The desire to live like those on the outside world. None of it mattered. For Adolphe. He bristled at the thought of becoming a reliver in the same way that a child resisted going to the doctor. After decades, the technology that he was afraid of had become a natural part of life.
そんな普通な理由でリライバー化を拒絶する普通な人、初めて見ました。
It's the first time I met someone who didn't want to become a reliver for such a simple reason. Despite that,
いいんじゃないですか。一人くらいはそんな普通の人間がいても。
no, that's totally fine. I mean, it's good to talk to at least one person who thinks like a normal person.
人を普通普通と連呼するな。それで褒めてるつもりなのか。
Stop calling me normal already. I know that's not a compliment, but it is a compliment. It's not a bad thing to be normal. Adolphe knew exactly how normal he was, and that he lacked the power to protect Therese. It had bothered Adolphe for some time now.
いいじゃないですか。その普通はきっとこの国における特別です。
Yeah. I agree with that. It's like they said, so many people were just used to death. Don't let it bother you. Heck, being normal in this country is actually something special.
僕はアドルフさんみたいな考え方嫌いじゃないですよ。
I actually like people who think like you, Adolphe. As a researcher, perhaps he should be more indigenous. In actuality, Donut was unexpectedly pleased by such a straightforward reason. I love Donut. Meanwhile, back at the house. A short while later, Adolphe returned from escorting Donut safely back to the Institute and told me everything that happened. I see. Donut's thinking about his mother too. But I never expected that the reason you didn't want to become a reliver, Adolphe. So much has happened since then. I guess we haven't had much time to talk about it.
白状だと思うか。
Do you think I'm heartless?
お前への感情の喪失が拒絶の理由ではないこと。
That my refusal isn't because I don't want to lose my emotions for you? He must mean... the The same reason why Lucas and Nadia had given up on extending their lives. Their decision was to be respected, but it also made me a bit sad. Close enough. Of course not. I mean, I am surprised, but... Adolphe, what you think and feel belong to you. I don't have the right to change that. Actually, I'm relieved that you have your own reasons because you're always putting me in the orphanage first. Adolphe was simply scared of becoming a reliver, not because he had a bias against them. There was no reason to believe he was heartless.
ありがとう。
Thanks. Adolphe's tension dissipated when he heard my honest response.
だが、誤解するな。
But don't get me wrong.
リライバーにならない理由でこそないが、お前が何よりも大切な存在であることは変わらない。
Whatever my reason for not becoming a reliver, it doesn't change the fact that you're more important to me than anything. Really, Adolphe, after what I just said, I wanted him to think about his own happiness for a change, but noticing that our conversation hadn't been interrupted, Adolphe began looking around the room.
アンクーはどうした？さっきから姿が見えないが。
Where's Ankou? I don't see him here. He needed to go back to Hades to rest, since he stayed in the overworld for too long. He only left a short while ago. I was gonna ask him whether I could disclose his identity to Donuts, but he said he didn't have time.
相変わらず自分勝手なやつだ。
Selfish as usual.
だがまあそのうち気まぐれに顔を出すだろう。
Well, I bet her pop out of nowhere whenever he's ready. Jump scares, he loves them. With that, Adolphe got changed and sat down comfortably on his bed, now that it wasn't cramped. It kind of startled me a little bit. It's so quiet. Things have been really noisy since Ankou decided to stay with us.
せいせいしてる。いっそこのまま帰ってこなけりゃいい。
I can relax now. I hope he doesn't come back. Don't be like that. Why are you so cold to Ankou after all the time we spent together?
なんとなくだ。あいつを見ていると無性に苛立って仕方ない。
Who knows? I don't know why, but just looking at him irritates me. So, you've taken a dislike to him? That's like something the children would do. Then again, I had a feeling Ankou also disliked Adolphe on the same basis. Anyway, the house felt cramped with the three of us, but now it felt very spacious. I hope Ankou returns quickly. I know it's strange, but I actually want to see them together again and argue over the smallest things. My loneliness went away sooner than I thought.
はじめまして。
I love him.
僕はマティス・クロードと言います。
Hello there. My name is Mathis Claude. Yeah. piece of fuzz landed in my nose. It's like uncomfortable now. Probably cat hair. My baby! It's
ジャン
my
がクルーン
baby!
さんを訪ねたら、こちらでブローを捕まえる作戦を練るとお聞きして。
I mean, not exactly, but hey, welcome! My butler Jean went to Kroon and heard that you were here to set up a plan to capture Burrell.
僕も参加させてはもらえないでしょうか。
So would it be possible for me to join too?
は
Accept him! Accept him right now! Accept my child! Early the next morning, we saw a car stop in front of the house, so Adolphe got up to see what was going on.
研究所に比べるとやはり狭いな。まあ数日の辛抱だ。妥協してやろう。
My normal reaction to seeing him. This place is much smaller than the Institute's. I suppose I can bear it for a few days. Uh-huh? Excuse me, but who are you? A lethargic-looking man in a white lab coat entered the house without permission, carrying books and other materials. I don't remember us saying anything about looking for Burrow. Yves? Yves, what did you do? Or maybe I just forgot.
待って、この状況を放置してどこに行くつもりだ、イブ。
Wait, where do you think you're going, Yves?
お
Adolphe mercilessly grabbed Yves' shoulder as he tried to sneak away.
これはどういうことだ。なんで俺の家に見知らぬ男どもが一斉に上がり込もうとしてる？
What's going on here? Why are all these strangers coming into my house?
あ、いや、ごめん。これには深い事情があるんだ。
Well, sorry. But there's a really good reason why this is happening.
みんなで例のブローを捕まえる計画を立てたんだけど、そのための拠点をどうしようかって話になってさ。
We were planning on capturing Burrow and had a conversation about where we could set up our base of operations.
そういえばアドルフの家は町外れにあったな。普段だったらあの場所を借りるのになって何気なくつぶやいたら。
So I sort of mentioned your house being on the outskirts of town and how comfy it is when I came here, so...
つぶやいたら
So what else did you mention?
君の許可を取る前にさっきの彼シアンさんが決定事項にしちゃって止める間もなく荷物や車がここに。
He just chooses everything himself. He doesn't care. Things started moving before I could ask you. Cyan made his decision and had his stuff in the car before we could stop him. Yves gave an apologetic explanation, and I noticed a stack of belongings behind him. Huh? Cyan? It can't be! That's Cyan Brofis? The Cyan Brofis? Yes. Astonished, I looked back at the man who came in. Where's Adolphe?
イブ
Yeeve? Is that how? Wait, have I been pronouncing his name wrong the whole time? It's Yeeve? Yeeves? That sounds wrong. That doesn't sound right. I like Yves. It sounds better. I'm just gonna go with Yves. Even if it is like Yves. Or whatever. I decide how I pronounce them. Although if you want to correct me, I'll accept. I will accept knowledge. I may not use it, but I will accept it.
Nani?
Yes. But how did Mathis find out?
そこに膝をついて座れ。俺がいいと言うまで楽になれると思うなよ。
Kneel over there with back straight. Don't move until I tell you, got it? Later. Yves ended up lying down on the floor, crying as his legs were cramped. Adolphe didn't tell him to move at all. I don't think we have enough chairs for everyone here. Mathis told us his brother was killed by the murderer known as Barreau. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either. Honestly, I don't know how many of these names I'm pronouncing correctly. Cyan was the famous scientist we had heard of, who left Donut to look after the Institute while he investigated the deaths on his own. It seems Cyan put in a work order with Yves and Hugo at Room to investigate the deaths and guard him while he was outside. Barreau apparently either stole or destroyed the bodies that were to be taken to the Institute and autopsied. They then chose Adolphe's home to act as a base of operations since its secluded location kept it relatively safe. The royal family issued a gag order about the deaths? And suspended the corpse?
厳密には自警団だけじゃなく全国民にもね。マティスの家にもわざわざ兵が釘を刺しに来て驚いたよ。
Not just the corpse, but all the citizens. I was surprised that they even sent soldiers to Mathis's to give him a stern warning.
情報が規制されていたのはブローの事件。この衛兵の失態に関わることだけだったはずだが。
I thought they were only restricting information about Barreau and the incident with the Royal Guard.
はい。
My child. Yes. Mathis, who seemed to be very shy, responded in a shaking voice.
変死事件や殺人事件だけじゃなくて、あらゆる事件という事件に一般人は関わるなって。
They say the public is not to be involved in any case, including the strange deaths or any other related incident.
もともとシュディからクーネにかけて娼婦の方々が失踪する事件が起きてたんですが、その捜索や噂すらもダメだって。
There have been cases of missing prostitutes in Cheddars and Culling, but they told me not to investigate or even discuss it. Jean. Since you couldn't act publicly, you decided to use Adolph's house as your base of operations?
一言いいか。
Can I say something?
なんだ。
What?
今までもうすうす感じてはいたが、王族どもはバカの集まりか。
Yes. I've been wondering for a while. Is the royal family a bunch of idiots?
そんな命令を発した時点で自分たちが何かしら関与していると白状したようなものだろう。
The fact they issued a gag order is basically saying they're involved in all this mess somehow.
そんなはっきり。
You're very blunt.
全面的に同意する。例外である一人を除いて、あの愚かさはもはや遺伝だろうな。
And that one royal will be the queen. I completely agree. Apart from one royal, their idiocy is likely to inherit traits.
だが変死事件の調査を禁ずるということは、俺の動きを封じて機嫌を損ねるのも同意。
Prohibiting investigations into deaths is the same as limiting my efforts, which has worsened my mood.
どれだけ連中がバカでもそんなリスクを自ら負うとは思えん。リライバー化の権利を奪われたらそれまでだからな。
I highly doubt they're stupid enough to get on my bad side. I can easily forbid them from becoming relivers.
それを承知の上で禁ずるのなら何かしらの狙いがあるんだろう。
But their orders still affect the population at large, and point to an underlying motive. The royal family was involved. I was reminded of the Queen's diary, which cursed her family for interfering with their ambitions.
もし王族の人たちが最近多発している一連の事件に関与しているとしたら、
If the royal family is involved in the incidents that have been occurring,
最初のブローの件もこの衛兵の失態を隠すのとは別に箝口令を敷いた本当の理由がありそうだね。
there has to be another reason besides trying to hide Barreau and how he killed those soldiers.
被害者がほぼ全員リライバーっていうのも何か関係があるんでしょうか。
Maybe it has something to do with the fact that almost all his victims were relivers. Huh? Really?
はいイブさんたちの調査でなんとか明らかに。
Alright, you're doing good so far. Yes, we somehow found that out through Yves' investigation. Suicides with relivers gouging their hearts out. Relivers being murdered by Barreau. Missing reliver prostitutes. Maybe there was more.
下手人は別だとして裏で手引きしている存在がいるのかもしれんな。
Assuming the perpetrators are different, there could be a single mastermind behind them.
最も有力な候補は王族の連中。リライバーが大量に死ぬことで連中にも得られるものはそれなりにある。
As the royal family has much to gain from the deaths of relivers, there are a highly likely suspect.
変死事件の原因をリライバーの不具合と断じれば、俺に責任を押し付け糾弾することが可能となり、
They can use the suicides to pin the blame on me by saying they died because of some bugs in the relivers I manufacture.
ブローにシュディの有力な出資者を殺させれば、研究所の金回りも悪くできる。
They can use Barreau to kill the Institute's largest investors and shadows to slow funding.
娼婦誘拐事件に関してはさすがにわからんが。
As for the missing prostitutes, I'm not sure.
でもシアンさんがいなくなったらリライバー技術の恩恵が得られなくなって困るんじゃ。
But if your work is interfered with, wouldn't they suffer from being unable to access reliver technology?
俺の代わりとして擁立できる別の傀儡でも見つけたんだろう。
Damn it. I assume they found a suitable puppet to replace me. That did seem to make sense, considering what was written in the diaries I read.
王族が何かを企んでいるのなら、あんたは研究所に戻らない方が良さそうだな。
The royal family is up to no good. You shouldn't go back to the institute.
元よりある程度の成果を得られるまで戻るつもりはなかった。まずは変死体の回収が第一だな。
I have no plans to return until I achieve worthwhile results. My first priority is to recover the corpses from their suicides. Seeing Sion sigh with exasperation, Matha timidly raised his hand. Oh, he's like, oh, so cute.
ではまず唯一犯人だとはっきりしているブローを捕らえるのが最優先じゃないでしょうか。
Then, may I propose that we first capture Bro? Since you know he's the cause of the murders?
奴が王族の方々に雇われているという可能性も十分にありえます。娼婦の失踪も奴の仕業かも。
There's a good possibility he's been hired by the royal family. He could even be involved with missing prostitutes.
そうだね。真相がどうあれ、このまま彼の犯行を見過ごすわけにはいかない。
True. Regardless of the truth, we can't let him run free and kill even more people.
そのための計画もすでに練ってある。お前たちにも協力してもらうぞ。自警団のオーサーに死神の小娘。
I already have a plan for that. And it requires the help of the corpse leader and the minute of death. Hearing him call me Death made Adolphe's brow twitch. Putting aside Adolphe for now, you know who I am?
うさんくさい噂が絶えずセルネボルまで届くのでな。それとお前を擁護するシスターサロメとは腐れ縁だ。
Rumors of you have reached Serenadol, and I have a bitter acquaintance with the woman who fancies herself your mother, Salome. I didn't know that. I wondered if the letters I delivered from Mother to the institutes were for Sion.
俺は仮にも自警団のリーダーだ。その捕獲計画とやらにも当然協力はするつもりだが。
I was already planning to help capture Barreau as the leader of the corps, but seeing Adolphe look at me, I quickly nodded.
こんな大勢に住居を提供するんだ。シアン・ブロフィワーズ、あんたからそれなりの対価をもらいたい。
Since I'll be housing everyone here, I want something in exchange from you, Sion Burfice.
なんだ、聞くだけ聞いてやる。
Let's hear it.
今回の作戦が終わったらこちらの事情。
Once the operation is over, I want to know.
この国を覆う死神の呪いを解く方法についてあんたの見解を聞き、
What your opinion is on how Death's curse can be broken in this country.
可能なら協力してもらいたい。
We need your assistance in our efforts.
ほう。
Everyone has started to hear Adolphe bring up the idea of lifting the curse that they had long accepted as part of their lives.
死神の呪い？
Death's curse.
それって寿命の件だよね。
You're talking about our longevity, right?
ああ、俺たちはその呪いとこいつが死神と呼ばれるゆえんを完全に消すつもりで行動している。
Yeah. We're working to get rid of the curse completely, in parts so that people would stop calling her death. Until now, no one had ever really discussed the idea with others before. Yves and Mathis exchanged surprised glances. Sion remained calm, without even a twitch of his brow.
なるほど。ただの妄想を口にしているわけでもなさそうだ。
I see. It seems this has progressed beyond idle daydreaming.
何かしら解ける根拠があっての発言か？
Am I correct in assuming you have some evidence to believe it's possible? Adolphe and I calmly began to explain. We told everyone that we wanted to uncover the source of the curse. That there was a good chance that the royal family was involved, and that they may have assassinated the queen over it. We went on to explain how Donut was offering us help, though once again we kept quiet about Ankou's existence. When Adolphe was finished talking, Cyan broke into a grin.
いいだろう。俺も真っ向からのアプローチを諦めたわけではないからな。
Very well. I can't say I've given up on the idea myself.
ブローの捕獲が成功した暁にはいくらでもお前の話を聞いてやる。
I'll tell you everything I know once we're able to successfully capture Baroque. Yes, I want your knowledge! Tell me! Cyan, the god who was born amongst mortals, hadn't forgotten his original objective, to solve the mystery of the curse. As he smiled confidently, Yves and Mathis also willingly offered their help. A few minutes later, the butler Mathis mentioned earlier by the name of Jean came by to introduce himself. Later. They just completely pass over Jean. It's like, you know what? Okay, you're here, you exist, but you're not important right now. Go away. I love it. Well, everyone was unpacking in preparation for living together. Gonna go see Nadia.
そういえばダハトからナディア宛ての手紙を預かった。
I almost forgot. I got a letter from Donut to give to Nadia.
しばらくは研究所にこもるから次に見舞いに行く際にでも渡しておいてほしいだそうだ。
He said he was gonna be staying at the institute for a while, so he asked us to drop it off when we visit the hospital. So to fulfill his request, Lucas, what a relief. You can stand up now?
ええ、まだ退院こそできませんが。
Well, yes. I still cannot leave the hospital's care. I was in Nadia's room at the hospital with Mathis, who offered to escort me. By chance, I happened to meet Lucas, who seemed to have recovered quite a bit. I first handed Nadia the letter, and as she read it with great excitement, we stepped out in the hall to share the information we had, since Lucas might know something about the curse or the depths.
リュカ先生、
Definitely knows about the depths.
この間は励ましていただきありがとうございます。
Lucas, thank you very much for coming to cheer me up last time.
あの日の失敗を生かして僕ちゃんと皆さんと協力してブローを捕まえますね。
Make sure I learn from my mistakes and work with everyone to capture Barreau.
捕まえる？何のお話ですか？
Shh, baby, shh, 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 shh. Hush. He said nothing. Ignore it. Shh, hush, child, hush. Capture? What do you mean? Well, It seemed that Mathis met Lucas here at the hospital after Yves and the others' first encounter with Barreau. He appreciated Lucas's encouragement, and since then has admired Lucas as his new student. But when Lucas heard about the situation and our plan, he gave a deep frown.
そのような危険な計画に君まで参加するなんて。
I can't believe he'd be participating in such a dangerous plan.
せめて体調が良ければ私も保護者として同伴したのですが。
I would have arranged to accompany you had my health allowed it. I appreciate the thoughts, but... Lucas, please focus on your recovery for Nadia's sake.
そうですよ。彼女のことは僕らが守りますから。先生は安心してください。
Him looking up to him makes it so much sadder. She's right. I'll protect her, so please rest assured.
それは頼もしいですね。では彼女の騎士は君たちに任せて、私は神に無事を祈るとしましょう。
That's very commendable of you. Then leave the reliable knight to protect the maiden, and pray that God watches over you.
見て見て、兄様。
Look, brother. I returned to Nadia's room and saw her happily sitting on the bed with the letter spread open.
今朝お話ししたダハト君からのお手紙よ。とっても素敵なことが書いてあるの。
I love her, she's so cute. She's so precious. It's a letter I got from Donuts, the friend I was talking about this morning. He wrote so many wonderful things to me.
ダハト君。ああ、例の国立研究所の副所長だという。
Donuts? You mean the deputy director of the institute? The researcher who became friends with his younger sister while he was unconscious. Lucas nodded with interest, hearing Donut's name. What did Donut write to you about?
あのね。
Well, you see? Nadia carefully turned the letter back toward her, and with a smile like that of a blooming flower, she read it aloud.
僕の新たな友達ナディアへ。
Oh, to my new friend Nadia.
君との出会いに心からの感謝を。君が普通の未来を語ってくれたおかげで僕も決心がつきました。
I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart that I was able to meet you. The future you spoke to me about moved me greatly.
僕は今の研究とは別に短命の悲劇、死神の呪いを解くための研究を始めようと思います。
Apart from my current research, I'm now looking into a way to lift the curse of death that causes our tragically short lives.
無謀な挑戦かもしれませんが、もしもその願いが叶ったら、
It may be a daunting challenge, but if I manage to succeed,
大切なことを思い出させてくれた君のお兄さんを真っ先に助ける。
I'll help you brother first.
そうしたら研究者を辞めて、
Since you reminded me of what is truly important in life, I will also leave the institute.
君の病を治し、理想通りによみがえらせた母も長生きさせることができる。 立派なお医者さんになろうと思います。
I hope to become a fine doctor who can cure your illness and revive my mother into the kind of full life she always wanted.
だから泣かないで。もう少しだけこの世界に絶望せず
Aww,
耐えてください。
I'm gonna cry. So please don't cry. I ask that you stay strong for a bit longer and not give up on this world.
ですって。
Did you hear that?
ダハト君が夢を叶えたら、私もっともっと兄様のそばにいられるかもしれないわ。
If Donut's able to make his dream come true, and then you and I might be able to live together for longer, brother.
こんな優しい友達を持てて、私はきっと世界で一番の果報者だわ。
I'm the luckiest person in the world to have made such a kind friend. Do you feel bad now? I don't know if he does or doesn't. It was a beautiful letter, with Donut's kindness written into every word. This was Nadia's second time reading it, and she was full of joy that she looked as if she could cry. Her brother's looming death might be averted. There was no trace of sadness in her tears. Then I shared with everyone that Donut had already taken steps toward uncovering the source of the curse.
素敵な手紙ですね。もしそのダハトさんが本当に呪いを解いてくれたら。
That's such a wonderful letter. If this donut really is able to find a way to break the curse,
僕の執事ジャンも大切な恋人と一緒に長生きすることができるか
he's
も。
already a reliver, hon. It's a little late for him. Then maybe my brother Jean will be able to live a long, happy life with his fiancée. Forget about him. You don't need him. You don't need him. You have us. Jean is engaged?
はい。会ったことはないけれど、将来的にはお姉さんって呼べたらいいなって。
Ironic. I mean, if she was still alive, you could. Although if she was still alive, you wouldn't exist, so, Yeah, about that. Yes. Though I haven't met her yet. Okay, that's technically who would exist, just not as he is. And not as how he lives. Anyway. Yes, though I haven't met her yet. I'm just hoping I can call her my sister-in-law someday. I tilted my head in confusion when he said sister-in-law. He shyly explained that he and Jean had known each other since childhood. They shared so many experiences, good and bad, that Mathis considered him his older brother. This felt so strange. The contract that Ankou offered to me had changed into a very real desire. It slowly spread and transformed into hope. I'm scared of hope. Seeing how things were coming together made me feel happy.
ナディアを 治す医者に。
Doctor who can cure Nadia? It was the same with Lucas. He read the letter again, looking at it as though it shone with donut's brightness.
貴様ですら
But he's a reliver.
延命するだけなのにどうしてよりによって
Even he says her life should be extended. Why him? Why now?
リライバーが
It's not a bad thing.
ナディアを救おうと
Put your bias aside and accept his hope. Accept that he actually cares. Reliver, trying to save Nadia? Lucas?
大丈夫ですか？急に顔色が悪くなったような。
Are you alright? Your complexion is looking pale. Worried Mathis walked toward him to provide support, but... Frick you!
やはりここにいたのか、リュカ君。
Alright, who has a knife? I want to stab him. It's time. We need to stab him. Wait, no, not in front of Nadia. Okay, lure him out of the room, then stab him. Alright, I like that plan. Let's do it. Frick you! Ah, there you are, Lucas.
点滴の時間だというのに、病室を抜け出されては困るな。
It's time for your trip. I'm disappointed you snuck out of your room. A sharp-eyed man appeared. Dr. Capuchin, the minister of the Society of Exorcists and director of the hospital, reached Lucas first and patted his shoulder.
カプシーノ先生、ごきげんよう。
Dr. Capuchin, it's nice to see you.
うん、ごきげんよう。今日は調子がいいようだね、ナディア君。
Same to you. It looks like you're doing well today, Nadia.
新しいお友達にたくさん元気を分けてもらったから。
It's all thanks to my new friend for giving me a boost of energy.
点滴って
Drip?
カプシーノ先生、兄様はもう容体が安定したのではないの？
Dr. Capuchin, I thought my brother's health has improved.
それはそうなのだがね。まだ若干貧血気味だから、おとなしくしているよう言い聞かせておいたんだ。
That is true. But he's still slightly anemic, so I've been trying to keep him in his room to rest properly.
だが様子を見に来てみれば、案の定だよ。先日のイブ君といい、困った患者ばかりで参ってしまう。
But as expected, he found his way here. Just like Yves, it seems I'm destined to have troublesome patients. Dr. Capuchin shrugged, then took Lucas's frail wrist to urge him to move. As I turned toward him, my eyes met the doctor's narrow gaze.
ああ、君がリュカ君の言っていたお嬢さんか。ナディア君と友達になってくれたそうだね。
Ah, you must be the young lady Lucas told me about. I hear you became friends with Nadia. Yes. My name is Cerez. I believe I heard you mention Yvez's name just now? He's a dear friend of mine. Thank you very much for taking such good care of him.
礼儀正しい子だ。さすがはリュカ君の教え子といったところかな。
You're very polite. I would expect no less from a former student of Lucas's.
私個人としてもぜひ君と親しくなりたいもの
No,
だ。
I do not want to know you better. You leave us alone. Please leave us alone. If you want to live, leave us alone. And Nadia too. I would like to take this opportunity to know you better. Yes, of course.
待ってください、カプシーヌ様。彼女は。
Please wait, Dr. Capuchin. She's...
黙ってついてきなさい、リュカ君。途中で倒れても貧弱な私では君の体を背負ってあげられないよ。
Now let's get going, Lucas. I don't have the strength to carry you if you collapse on the way back. Before Lucas could say anything else, Dr. Capuchin pulled him out of the room.
先生、本当に大丈夫でしょうか？
If we can kill Capuchin, maybe. I mean, he'd be in a better place. That rock thing looks pointy. I'm sure we can use that. I wonder if her teacher's gonna be okay. I'm a little worried myself.
カプシーヌ先生が一緒なら大丈夫。
Are you sure
先
about
生が
that?
処置してくれた後の兄様はいつも元気になって戻ってくるもの。
My brother's in good hands with Dr. Capuchin. After all, he gets better as soon as the doctor checks up on him. I'm relieved to hear that, Nadia. Nadia read the letter over and over again, happily soaking up its contents. Nadia was a bright and innocent girl, to begin with, and now, with the hope that she might actually be able to live with her brother for a long time, her smile was brighter than ever.
ダートさんの研究、間に合うといいですね。
I hope Donut's able to accomplish his goals soon. Yes, I'm sure he'll make it in time. I hope so. No. We'll make it in time. Make sure it happens in time. I couldn't just rely on someone else to do everything. We needed to do what we could so that we could create a future that Nadia dreamed of. A few days passed after we all started living together at Adolphe's house. Under science lead, we prepared a plan to lure out Barreau. We succeeded by creating some dummy corpses and managed to corner him deep in the alley. Okay, so we're fast forwarding through all this. Adolphe and the others fought with all their might, and somehow brought Barreau to his knees.
Sate, はた迷惑なブロードやら。俺とはこれが初対面だな。
Now then, I believe this is the first time I've met the troublemaker known as Barreau.
とっとと身分と死体の隠し場所を白状してもらおうか。
Let's quickly figure out who he is and have him confess where he took the bodies. Science fingers reached down to remove the hood covering Barreau's face. Suddenly, The acid. A large shadow covered me.
セレさん
The air itself shook from the impact. The blade that swung down toward me was blocked by Mathis' small blade. Mathis? My cry suddenly brought everyone back into motion. The assailant who cracked Mathis' sturdy knife with a single blow was...
ブローが2人
two of them. Yes.
ちさては違法製造されたリライバーか。
He must be an illegally manufactured reliver. Yves and Adolphe drew their swords and closed in. Sensing that I'd only be in the way, I quickly moved back. Whoa! As if Barreau knew what I was gonna do, he quickly knocked away Mathis' knife. Huh? What happened next was completely unexpected. It wasn't just to cause confusion. He was targeting me specifically, even though I wasn't a reliver. It was only when Mathis dropped to his knees and Barreau sped past him that I realized I was his prey.
セレス
This didn't happen last time. Adolphe made a mad dash toward me. But the other Barreau, who was supposed to be unconscious, got to his feet and ran after Adolphe in a flash. Ankou's gonna come up, isn't he? That's the only way I can figure that we lived through this. Adolphe, behind you! Unable to block the attack from behind with a sword, Adolphe was blown back into the wall and knocked unconscious. Before I could say anything, a giant blade came down at me from above. I'm going to die. Before that became a reality, I did my best to throw the first aid kit I had in my hand. The bandages and medicine flew about, blocking Barreau's view. It bought me only a fraction of a second. For some reason, his halberd slightly swerved, sorry. His halberd slightly swerved from my childish retaliation. Ow! His blade slashed my upper arm, but it wasn't enough to kill me. I need a bigger knife, Mathis. No? Well, maybe not. Mathis positioned his knife and stopped it deep into Barreau's stomach.
僕の友達をこれ以上傷つけてみろ
How dare you harm my friend?
お前が何百回リライバーとして蘇ろうがその度に殺してやれ
Even if you revive 100 times as a reliver, I'll kill you every single time! His deceptively frail appearance didn't match the immense strength he displayed. Mathis's voice was a low growl as he faced off against his brother's killer. I ignored sharp pain in my arm so that I could help Mathis push the knife deeper into Barreau's stomach. Barreau groaned in pain, trying to grab Mathis's wrist in an attempt to remove the knife. But before he could, white falling stars rained down from the night sky. As they approached, they took the shape of arrows, but Barreau swatted them out of the air. Using the opportunity, no idea who's doing that, but
本の
thanks.
虫の血筋にしてはいい動きをするじゃないか。
Not bad for someone from the bloodline of bookworms.
特にこの男の血と肉を採取したのは大手柄だ。本来なら見捨てるところだが、特別に命がけで助けてやる。
I commend you for extracting his flesh and blood. I would usually leave you to your fate, but I'll help you just this once.
君もおとなしい子だと思ってたけど、結構おてんばだね。でもいい判断。
You too, Ceres. I thought you were the quiet type, but you're pretty spirited. Nice work.
シアンさん
Yves! Before I knew it, Scene took Mathis, who had a bloody knife in his hand, while Yves carried me in his arms and moved us away from Barreau.
可能なら生け捕りにしたかったが、さすがにこれは分が悪い。散るぞ、クルーン。
Capturing him alive would be ideal, but I suppose that isn't possible. Move, Kurun!
わかりました。
Got it! Right scenes! Yves and Cyan spread out and went in different alleys with us in their arms. Wait, Yves, we can't leave Adolphe there alone!
大丈夫。なんでかはわからないけど、ブローの狙いは君だ。追跡をやめてまでアドルフを攻撃しないはず。
Don't worry. I don't know why, but it's you Burrow's after. He won't attack Adolphe if you're his target. Behind you! Yves held his breath and crouched low. The next moment, a halberd came hurtling above us and destroyed the roll to the side.
ほら、もう追いついてきた。
See, he's after us. The bird that came after us was the one Mathis injured with his knife. He moved quickly, as if he wasn't injured, mercilessly closing in on us.
早い。この感覚、師匠の修行から脱走した時の恐怖を思い出しちゃうな。
He's fast. This reminds me of when the old boss chased after me when I tried to escape training. We can talk and run at the same time. This is no time to be talking. He has his weapon again and he's coming straight for us.
おっと。
Whoa! The blow destroyed everything in its path. Yves somehow evaded the attacks, using my words as a guide, but that had its limits. A new source of despair descended upon us. Damn, shit. Jeez, how many are there? Another man with the same appearance showed up to block the way.
は？3人目？
The third one? The unexpected appearance of another Barreau totally caught Yves off guard.
ごめん。あとは自力で逃げて。
Sorry, you better make a run for it. Yves forcefully shoved me down another path just before sustaining an attack that drew blood from his arm. Yves! His expression was suddenly tense. He drew his sword and motioned for me to escape as his face grew paler from the loss of blood. I was only a burden to Yvaz. He probably only had enough strength left to stop him from coming after me. Please stay alive! I gritted my teeth with frustration and ran through a narrow path, hoping that they wouldn't be able to get through. I did my best to run through the alleys as randomly as possible so I could lose them. I ran and ran to the point where I felt like my lungs would burst. I finally had to stop to catch my breath. I found myself on a quiet, open road. But by the time I realized where I was and tried to turn back, it was too late. Oh shit. Finding me in an open area, the burrow I expected was the real one, came down from above and landed in front of me. More than fear, I was gripped by a sense of hopelessness. There had to be some way to escape. Jump in the water? I don't know. I couldn't die now, after everything the others had done. Burrow lowered his weapon and slowly walked toward me. Just as he extended his arm toward me,
私の大事な女に。
She is very dear to me.
血に濡れた汚い手で触れるな。
Don't you lay a bloody finger on her. I knew he'd come. In the next moment, pale hands covered Burrow's face. Burrow flinched instinctively from the coolness of the hands. But that lasted a second before he quickly swung his halberd to cut off the hands that were covering his face. But the attack was meaningless. Ankou grinned eerily without showing any pain whatsoever. A sudden gurgling sound could be heard, and immediately new hands were born. What? Rogue shouted for the first time at the unrealistic sight. As he jumped back, Ankou pulled me behind him.
化け物め。私の天使に彼女に近づくな。
You monster! Don't you dare go near my angel! Yeah, naturally we'd be confused. It's like yandere. They love us, but they want us dead. He brought a warning and pointed his halberd. That voice. It can't be.
君が言える口か。
But it can.
まさかブローの正体が全くのになっているとはね。
I'm surprised you said that. I did not expect Burrow's identity to be a completely... something.
君もまたあの少年と同様の存在ということかな。
I suppose this means you are a similar existence to him. I guess abnormal?
「全く知らない相手となるとさすがの私も少々やりづらい。ここは奥の手を使わせてもらおう。
The facing an unfamiliar adversary makes things more difficult. Now's the time to use my special power. What special power is this? Ankou reached into his robe as Barreau positioned his halberd. They glared at each other with ferocity. One was a monster with superhuman strength, and the other was a monster who defied death. But the clash never happened. One of them quickly evaded an arrow from above, and the other remained still as an arrow pierced his body. Another attacker had arrived on the scene. Under the beautiful starry sky, a shadowy figure looked down at us from the rooftop.
しばらく見ないと思ったら
I was
こんな
right.
危ないことをしていたなんて
I was right. So the mysterious figure was Salome. Because it was, I remember it being a woman's voice, and there's only so many women here. And by that I mean 2 if you exclude a child. And us. Well, no, we are one of the 2. So, it had to be Salome. She's the other person in the cloak that originally poured the acid on a fake Barreau. In the other versions. I hadn't seen you in a while. To think you were up to something so dangerous.
セレスとアドルフには少し反省する時間が必要なようね
It seems Therese and Adolphe will need to be punished.
でもその前にそこの悪い子を追い返さないと
But first, I'll need to do something about the naughty one there. Mother? There was no way I'd mistake her. The person was indeed my foster mother. She pulled back another arrow with glistening purple tip. He still had his wound on his stomach, and was now up against the watchman to death in a siege of arrows from above. Judging that he was at a disadvantage, Barreau leapt into the darkness and disappeared. I'm saved? My strength quickly left me as I fell to my knees. The wound that Barreau inflicted on me was rather deep. Blood was poured out of my open flesh. Ankou quickly tore a part of his robe and used it as a bandage to stop bleeding. Have you washed that recently? It suddenly got quiet. Does that mean the others retreated too?
無傷ではないだろうが、おそらくは。すぐにでも拠点に戻って全員の手当てをした方がいいだろう。
With sufficient injuries, I suspect. We should return and tend to everyone's wounds there. You're right. We should get going. Ankou let me his hand so I could stand up.
セレス無事でよかった
She's not your ordinary sister. Therese, thank goodness you're safe. Mother! Mother quickly made her way down the roof and was running toward me. She looked like she was about to cry. I had no idea how or why she appeared here with a weapon, but her precise attack saved my life, and I needed to thank her.
ダメだ姫君。
No, dear princess. But Ankou denied me before I could. Just as I was about to run to meet Mother, he grabbed my wrist and held me in place. My confusion was answered immediately. Ankou used his other hand to grab another flying arrow through the sky. Flying through the sky. The arrow's shaft was sharpened, which drew blood from Ankou's hand. The person who shot the arrow that could have killed a normal human was... Mother? Why? Why indeed? I'm very confused. I'm very confused. I looked at her in disbelief. Ankou's palm quickly began to heal as soon as he tossed the arrow aside. Mother's disappointed expression was visible, even from a distance.
また傷が消えた。
You healed yourself again.
どうやらさっきの光景は見間違いではなかったようね。
It seems what I saw back then wasn't an illusion. Mother lowered her bow, though she still appeared vigilant.
あなたは一体私の大事な娘に何をするつもり？
I guess she was just testing him. But why point it at us? Or was Ankou just afraid we would get caught in the crossfire as she tested her suspicions? Who are you? And what are you doing, my dear child?
私がどう答えたところで意味はないのだろう。
No matter how I answer, I doubt it will satisfy you.
あなたの中で私は愛娘に危害を加える極悪人で結論が出ているようだからね。
You seem to already be convinced that I'm a villain who will harm your beloved daughter.
そしてどう扱おうと自由な化け物としても
A monster roaming freely who deserves your contempt. I looked on in stunned silence as tension filled the air until... Oh, you've got him wrong, Mother. Ankou does have mysterious powers, but he's not bad. And he's on my side. He even worked with Adolphe to save me. Adolphe told you, didn't he? We're working together to try to rid the curse. I desperately pleaded his innocence, as my wish was no longer just my own, but...
残念だわ、セレス。あなたも。
But why? Why? Why is she disappointed in us?
Because we're hanging out with sketchy people? I told you to make good choices. This does not seem like a good choice. I'm disappointed in you, Ceres. We rarely see things from her perspective.
危険な真似はするなと私はあれだけあなたに言い聞かせていたわよね。
I kept telling you over and over again not to get involved in anything dangerous, didn't I?
なのによりにもよって
Yet despite my warnings,
王城に忍び込んだ挙句あのシアン・ブロフィワーズと手を組もうとするなんて。
you snuck into the castle, and now you're working with us Sam Bruffies.
れだけ身を危険にさらせば気が済むのかしら。
Exactly how many times do you plan to put yourself in harm's way?
どうしてそれを。
Because I'm your mother. It's a mother's magic. We know everything. That's gonna be her answer. Response. How did you know that?
私には可愛い協力者がいてね。あなたたちが無茶をしないか、それとなく見張ってもらっていたの。
I happen to have an adorable ally who's kept their eye on you to make sure you're safe. Mathis? I mean, Mathis is adorable. And he's the only one who's been here with us, so... Who else would it be? I guess it could be Yvaz, but I mean, Nadia? But she doesn't know Nadia. She's never met Nadia, as far as I know. At least not in this timeline. I'm trying to think. Who's the adorable ally? Donuts? But I don't think she knows Well, I mean, Does she know Donut? I mean, she might. But he's been at the Institute this whole time. I don't know. I happen to have an adorable ally who's kept their eye on you to make sure you're safe.
母の過保護を甘く見た。あなたの負けね、アドルフ。
You overestimated your overprotected mother and lost, Adolphe.
忠告を無視したのは悪かったと思ってる。
Sorry I disregarded your warnings.
だが、俺は
But I...
俺はもう守るというエゴでセレスの意志を殺したくはない。
I don't want to suffocate Cerez. And just because I'm too focused on protecting her.
今まであいつから生きるための強い気力を奪っていたのは
All this time, the ones who have deprived her of her strength
俺たちなんだ、マム。
are the two of us, Mother. Did she just kick him?
ごめんなさい。ついカッとなってあなたの顔に矢を刺すところだったわ。
Mother, jeez. Salome. Oh, I'm sorry. I nearly lost my temper and shot an arrow through your face.
でも、それでも、
But
それでも、それでも、それでも、
regardless, no matter what,
私はあなたたち二人だけは失うわけにはいかないの。
I can't have you two die and taken away from me.
そう、たとえ
Trauma.
どんなに恨まれたとしても。
Yes, I don't care if you despise me for it. What's with the blood?
アドルフと同じわがままを言うのね。義理とはいえ、さすがは兄弟だわ。
You're just as selfish and willful as Adolphe. Like brother, like sister. Mother, what did you do with Adolphe?
ああ、アドルフなら心配いらないわ。鎖でしっかり拘束しておいたから、すぐに迎えに行ける。
No need to worry about Adolphe. I have him chained up at the moment, but we can go visit him soon.
頭を冷やすためにもしばらく二人揃って施設の倉庫に入りましょうね。
I think you both need a time out in the storage room until you settle down. Is this a new side we're seeing? Well, kind of, but I mean, we have had dead ends with her killing us out of love, so I guess it's not all that surprising if I think about it. Although I've only played like one of them, or two. I was frozen with fear and couldn't breathe. Who was this person? Mother? Please calm down. Nothing will change even if we both go back to the orphanage. Since Burrow escaped, we need to set up a new plan, or more victims will...
それをあなたたちが行う義務なんてどこにもない。犯罪者の調査は本来この衛兵たちの仕事なのだから。
That is not your responsibility. Handling criminals and conducting investigations are the duties of the Royal Guard.
王族から静かにとそう言われたのでしょう。だったら言うことを聞いていい子にしていないと。
The royal family issued a gag order. That means to stay quiet. So you be a good girl and listen to what they say. My loving foster mother. I had never heard her speak in such a cold and ruthless tone before. Mother. I understood well enough that she was worried about me. But I sensed something else in her voice. Something frightening that I couldn't understand.
違うな。あなたの目的は子を守ることだけではない。
You're wrong. Your objective is not solely to protect her.
え？
What? Mother's expression twitched when Ankou spoke.
あなた何を？
What are you saying?
やれやれ。自覚がないのかな？
Unbelievable. Are you still not aware?
あなたは彼女を説得しながらも視線だけはずっと私に注ぎ、その一挙一動を常に見張っていた。
You were trying to convince her of your argument, but you were looking at me the whole time.
それはあなたがその子に危害を加えないように。
It was only to make sure you wouldn't do anything to harm her.
ならばなおのこと彼女の説得よりも先に私との交渉を始めるべきだろう。
No, the more reason you should have spoken to me first before preaching to her.
それをしなかったのは
The reason you did not do so is obvious.
あわよくば彼女を保護するとともに人質にし私の身柄を確保したかったからでは？
You're treating her as your hostage, implying a threat of danger to ensure my cooperation. Huh? Mother's expression changed immediately at Ankou's low voice.
適当なことを言わないでちょうだい。そんなことをして私に何の得が？
Don't say something so outlandish. What would I even gain from it?
私の節を目にした時の好奇と欲に濁ったその瞳。
I saw the curiosity and greed in your eyes when you witnessed my immortality.
嫌というほどに覚えがある。
I have seen many with your eyes before. Mother was too stunned to respond.
残念だよ。あなたにだけはそんな目を向けられたくはなかった。
It is a pity. Of all the people, I had hoped you would not look at me that way. Ankou's expression showed intense sorrow. Instead of tears, a small object fell from his robe. Suddenly, white smoke began to spread at his feet. What? Smoke immediately clouded my vision, obstructing her view. It seemed Ankou could see clearly, because he appeared beside me in the next instant.
行こう、姫君。今の母君には冷静になる時間が必要だ。
Let us go, dear princess. Your mother needs some time to herself. I looked in the direction where I thought mother might be. No excuse! There was no excuse for threatening to chain your child up. Chaining up is not okay. Unless it's a kink. And accepted by both parties. Wait, don't go. My Cerez. I only wanted to. I could hear mother shouting at the top of her lungs from within the thick fog. I know. You want to protect me, right? Just know that I believe you no matter what, mother. Then why? But... I yelled to my mother, whom I couldn't see. Adolphe and Ankou. Both of them are part of my precious family. Which is why I can't stay with you if you're going to cause them harm. So please, I want my kind mother back. I'll introduce him properly then. Rebelling, mother. We are rebelling. You cannot stop us.
ありがとう、姫君。
Thank you, dear princess. With Ankou as my guide, we silently departed the area. Cerez was gone by the time the smoke cleared. I wasn't fast enough to go after them. But that didn't mean I had given up.
さない
No,
逃がさない逃がさない
no, no. You're not getting away.
今度こそ私は子を失うわけにはいかないの
Not again. I will not lose my child again. Are we finally gonna get answers on her kid? We will finally know? I had always suspected that she was the descendant of death. But the situation was different now. Cerez possessed a trait that induced ailments similar to that of the curse. The curse progressed slowly in Adolphe. And that mysterious man, Ankou, had an immortal body.
それらをすべて揃えることができれば、もしかして
If I can get them all together, then perhaps... Salome, they were all together. They all are together. All you had to do is, join them.
無駄だと諦めかけていた今までの努力が報われる。
Will all the efforts I had given up on finally be rewarded?
すべてを救うことができる。
Will I be able to save everyone now? I'm kind of afraid what her version of saving everyone is. Mortality? The emotion inside me that I thought was love slowly melted away. With a sliver of hope I finally found, I felt myself slipping into the muddy darkness of a renewed obsession. A place unknown. Another voice seeking help could be heard yet again tonight from this country loved by death. This was merely one of them. You piece of junk! You're the piece of junk. In a dimly lit underground chamber stood Lucas with a horrible wound, but instead of being treated, he was being kicked by Capuchin. Oh. The blood loss was severe enough that Lucas was unable to avoid the kicks, taking the blow and falling to the floor.
よりにもよって支援者からの依頼を失敗するとは。お前は分かっているのか?
Of all missions to fail, you had to fail my supporters' request. Do you realize what you've got done?
奴の機嫌を損ねれば、私の研究もナディアの治療も立ち行かなくなるのだぞ。
If we get on my supporters' bad side, I would lose my ability to research. And that means I can't cure Nadia. I'm not gonna cure her in the first place.
申し訳ありません。
I'm truly sorry. The gentle minister was showing his true side. But Lucas wasn't able to tell the difference, as his hazy consciousness was preventing him from thinking straight.
お前ならあの程度の任務、たやすくこなせたはず。にもかかわらず、失敗したということは。
You should have been able to handle that mission. But despite how easy it was, you failed. He grabbed Lucas's hair, forcing his pale face upward.
どういうことだ? 薬を投与したばかりだというのに、わずかに正気が戻っている。
How strange. You still have a bit of sanity left, even after I gave you the usual dose. Seeing the true color in his eye, Lucas came to his senses for a moment and saw the minister in charge of his younger sister. A Reliver, a hideous demon who had befriended and tricked Nadia. A demon who said he would get rid of the curse and become a doctor to save Nadia. He remembered the smile of his sister's face as she read that letter.
あの病院に入院してから。
She's been in the hospital for a while now.
ナディアのあんな希望に満ちた笑顔は
That was the first time I'd seen Nadia smile with so much hope.
一度として見たことが
A smile I'd never seen before. It wasn't her usual happy smile when she saw her brother. He had seen that one many times in the past, but this one was different. What brought out this new smile was a powerful desire to fight the curse, which was catalyzed by Ceres. They, on the other hand, spent their lives trying to extend their longevity. He suddenly realized that Capuchin was holding a syringe filled with liquid. Run! Run!
仕置きも兼ねて調整が必要だな。
It seems you require more taming. The moment the strange-colored liquid was pushed out of the needle's tip. Bam? Quilling Man? Lucas shuddered with fear, remembering the torture he endured in the past.
お許しください。教祖様。
Please forgive me, Minister.
やはりあの命令だけは聞けません。セレス君は私の初恋の人で、ナディアの大事な友人。
Simply cannot follow that order. Ceres is my first love, and a dear friend to Nadia. The command was,
体の一部を切断して持ってこいなど。
I cannot bring a part of her body back to you.
いくら神からの啓示でも私は
It's messed up. Even if it was God's command, I simply...
いつからお前は私に意見できる立場になった？
He is a free person. He is allowed to express his opinions. Fuck you. Go to hell. Who gave you permission to express your opinion? Lucas's vision flickered as he was suddenly kicked in the head. Jeez, rude, mean.
そこまでにしてあげなさい。教祖殿。彼は日頃からよくやっているじゃないか。暗殺者としては間違いなく最高傑作だよ。
Leave him be, Minister. He's been doing well for the most part. As an assassin, he is undoubtedly the best. A voice could be heard from Capuchin's chest pocket, where he kept his transmitter. It glowed as the power went on. The violence stopped, and Lucas weakly looked up at the faint glowing lights.
噂をすればあなたか。いつもは手紙のやり取りだけだというのに、通信をよこすとは珍しい。
Well now, this is quite a treat. We usually only interact through letters. So I'm surprised you contacted me like this. Contacted me like this.
大事なお友達と久々に語り合いたくなったのよ。
I simply wanted to speak with my old friend for a moment. I'm trying to think who this other person could be. Because story-wise, I imagine it has to be someone we know, right? So there's only 2 people that are, like, I guess 3, but I highly doubt it's Hugo. I highly doubt it's Hugo. That just wouldn't make sense. So, I think it's either Salome or, Donuts. Although I don't want to believe it's Donuts. I love Donuts. I mean, I guess it could be some random royal, but I feel like that would be too random. This person is speaking on Lucas's behalf, so... But Salome did mention an old friend. Either way. Scared. The mysterious supporter who had saved him from death row and allowed him to escape, then gave him a research facility of his very own. Capuchin responded compliantly to his savior, whom he had sworn absolute obedience.
武器であるハルバードにはわずかとはいえ彼女の血が付着していた。これなら遺伝子の解析ぐらいはできる。
I was worried about that. Of course. There's some blood on hers. There's some blood of hers left on his halberd. That should be enough to analyze her genes.
何より彼が持ち帰った情報にはそれ以上の価値があったのだから今回は多めに見てあげなさいな。
Furthermore, he brought back information more valuable than her blood, so you can go easy on him. The stuff about Ankou, or... I guess, yeah. Capuchin was still unsure whether his supporter was male or female. Their voice was too modulated to decipher. Their way of speech and secretive demeanor made it impossible to determine their age or gender. Capuchin went along, all the while thinking of how he could seize the advantage one day. I don't want it to be Donut. But some tiny part of the voice sounds like it could be Donuts. And I always keep just wondering about how in his, when he speaks, sometimes he has those stars. Maybe there's more to it than just it representing his type of attitude. Maybe those stars he puts there are represent like a type of fake enthusiasm. Maybe that's what those actually mean. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to suspect my baby donut. But it's a possibility. Capuchin went along, all the while thinking of how he could seize the advantage one day.
負った傷がすぐに再生したという不死の化け物の喧嘩。どうにも信じがたいな。
Am I referring to the undead monster who can heal any wound immediately? I admit, I find it hard to believe.
そこは部下の目を信用してあげて。クーネに潜伏させている私の部下もしっかりその光景を見ていましたから。
Is his subordinates Salome? This voices? Because not many people have encountered Ankou. Unless his subordinate is Adolphe. Is this what Adolphe means by he doesn't deserve it? He's actually with the bad guy? Kinda like Lucas's? But probably for a different reason, if he is. Brain. My brain.
I あなただってその話が本当なら喉から手が出るほど欲しいんじゃないですか。
I guess it could be Salome. But no, Salome saw it, so it's not like it'll be hard to believe. But this person is saying it would be hard to believe. Would you not want more information if you knew it to be true?
大事なお人形たちを長生きさせるための素材として。
Could pave a path for you to extend the lives of your precious dolls. Ew.
何もかもお見通しということか。
I see I cannot hide anything from you. The presence beyond the transmitter then focused on Lucas.
ではルカ君には名誉挽回も兼ねて。
Now then, why don't we have our dear Lucas redeem himself?
ある程度回復次第、彼女を守護するあの化け物を私たちのもとへ連れてきてもらおう。
Once he has recovered, let us have him fetch the immortal monster protecting her.
どんな姿になっても構わないから。それで今回の失敗はなかったことにしてあげる。
Of course, it doesn't matter whether he's in one piece. We can forgive poor Lucas once that is complete. Lucas had no clue how that monster was related to the girl he adored. But it was safe to assume that there was some level of trust between them based on the fact that they were together. Perhaps this monster was someone dear to her, just like Adolphe.
できません。
I cannot. Lucas refused the command.
これ以上 教え子と妹を
Tell them.
裏切るような真似は
I cannot betray my students or my sister anymore.
それ以外のことなら何でもしますから
I will do
どうか
anything else, so please. Mm.
珍しく反抗的だ。
Oh. Rebellious, I see.
すまない。どうも洗脳が溶けかけているようだ。今調整し直す。
I'm sorry. It seems the brainwashing was not thorough enough. I will fix him right away. Capuchin sat on Lucas's back with a syringe in hand so he couldn't move.
やったもうそれは
No, please not that. Wrong voice. He struggled in an effort to escape, but he had grown so weak he was unable to exert his superhuman strength. No. His neck covered with tiny scars began to ripple with the unbearable heat and pain. Lucas's consciousness completely faded as the needle came out of his neck. His memory of what happened here would probably disappear once he awakened.
随分と雑な扱いをするわね。貴重な人材なんだから、もっと大切にしてあげないと。
You treat him with such roughness. He's an invaluable asset, so you should take better care of him.
憎きシアン・ブロフィワーズと私を告発したあの子供を殺させるまでは大事にめでてあげるつもりだよ。
I plan on taking good care of him until I can kill that despicable Cyan Brothias and his lackey who reported my activities. I mean, his lackey could either mean Donut or Salome, so, you know. It's not gonna be any random old scientist, right? But who reported his activities? I'm still curious why Salome appeared in near the end of Yves's roots. She appeared at the scene, just kind of randomly out of nowhere, speaking to Cyan about like how I won't forget how you killed my son, or whatever. No, maybe it is her. But then why would Cyan be working with her? No, I guess... Because when Cyan burst in here like the Kool-Aid Man, his target was Capuchin. Not the mysterious person. Salome know about his activities? Oh, there's so many possibilities, so many ways this could weave together. I just don't know which role everyone's playing. Head, brain, hurts.
さて、それでは、リュカが回復するまでの間、私は何をすればいい？
Now then, what should I do for the time being as we await Lucas's recovery?
彼へのしつけを止めるためだけに通信を入れたわけではないのだろう？
I take it you did not contact me simply to advise on how I should be training him.
話が早くて助かるわ。ではまず、ユカが入手した血液の解析をあなたにも手伝ってもらいたい。
I'm glad you asked. I would like to ask for your help in analyzing the blood Lucas obtained. But it could be donut again. Based on the words and what I'm getting from the personality of this mystery person, at times it seems like it could be someone. It could be like Salome. At times it feels like it could be Donut because, like, maybe it is Donut. No. Because I'm thinking that because here, he'd like to ask for help analyzing the blood Lucas obtained. Like, if it is Donut, the reason he would be asking to analyze the blood would probably be to help Nadia. So he can figure out how to save Nadia from her disease. Maybe it is Donut, because, like, I guess it could be Donut. It might be. But maybe if we're lucky, maybe it's not for nefarious reasons. Maybe the reasons why he's the leader of this, or working, supporting this guy, is because, because it can help him get what he wants. Because, I mean, he does want to revive his mother. And, it's like, how the hell are you gonna do that? So if he was working with some kind of crazy psycho guy that creates living things, actually, oh my god, that actually fits so well. Because he created the new human, the Nadia monstrosity, that he called like a new human. So what if it is Donuts, and he's gonna have Capuchin recreate his mother, and then put all his mom's memories in whatever Capuchin creates, in her feelings, and, you know, do what he said he wanted to do? That would actually make so much sense. Alright, that theory is proving stronger. But damn it, what about the royal family theory of him being the son? What about that theory? Does that affect that one? Oh gosh, I had... But I am really starting to think that this supporter is actually Donut. Because the only way he could make his mom come back to life would be if he had help from another party who could... Like... You'd have to create a human. right? Which means Donna could also be the one who lent Jean the technology to do what he did to Mathis. Donna, the ultimate mastermind? Betrayal at its finest? Please, please, please. I don't want that. But it fits. I feel the betrayal already. I guess it's a good thing they didn't tell him about Ankou before. Alright.
ああ、それから死んでも支障のない従順な信徒を何人か見繕ってくれる？
Can you assemble a few loyal followers whose lives will not be missed?
ちょっとした命がけのお使いをお願いしたくてね。
There's a certain risky errand I will need them to run. A child was born into this world. The first thing the infant sensed was the damp, sweet aroma of death. This must be Ceres. Yep, it's Ceres. Beyond a beautiful field of black and red flowers, out of sight of the bewildered people carrying the infant in their arms, a single man stood alone and out of sight. As the infant looked at him with innocent eyes,
やっと会えたな。
at long last we meet again. His voice was filled with countless emotions. Like a traveler who journeyed thousands of miles to finally find their lost love. Where are we? Where the hell is this? My eyes were wet with tears as I opened them. I feel like I just had a nostalgic dream. I dried my tears and tried to recall the details, but couldn't seem to remember. I got out of bed to get something to drink. It was then that I remembered this wasn't either the orphanage or Adolphe's house. That's right. Ankou led me here, saying that it would be dangerous elsewhere. It was a small but spacious cave, minimally furnished. The dim lighting cast weak shadows against the floor. I can hardly imagine anyone living here. This was a hideout that Ankou himself prepared for use while on the surface. After that incident with Mother, We somehow managed to escape safely. We couldn't guarantee that Adolphe's place was safe, so we quickly changed our routes and headed to the isolated hideouts. I kept telling Ankou that we couldn't just abandon Adolphe, but Ankou stated that he already told Adolphe about his hideouts in case of emergency. I hoped that he could somehow escape and meet us here soon. If not, I would go and rescue him. I think I remember Ankou tending to my wounds last night. Then I fell asleep on his bed right after. I felt embarrassed by how rude it was of me to use his bed, but he was nowhere to be seen. I wonder if he's outside. If I recall correctly, the sight from here is beautiful. We were on a large cliff, overlooking the great expanse of the ocean. Most people wouldn't dare come near her here, since one would need to go through the licorice field to reach the cave. It was the best place for a hideout, and also for kidnapping prostitutes to kill in your lab. The flowers of misfortune swayed in the night wind. Amongst them was a single shadow. But the shadow wasn't Yves, who I had met in the field in the past. Where's Ankou? He's eating flowers. Oh yeah, I had the theory that he was also like a flower child, I guess. He is the flowers. Like the flowers sustain him. That was my theory. That like the flowers sustain his life force or something. His long white fingers plucked a licorice neurge without any concern. The shadowy man crushed the flowers in his hand. He then moved it toward his mouth and... Are they tasty? Swallowed it whole. I watched in stunned silence as he consumed the licorice without succumbing to it. If he were human, he would certainly die at any moment. But this immortal being would not fall victim to the Grim Reaper's scythe. He went on to pluck another flower. He crushed it in his hand and brought it again to his lips. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was an incomprehensible sight, akin to watching someone swallow broken glass. But despite my fear, I was completely entranced. What, never seen a beautiful man eat flowers before? I didn't know how much time had passed while I watched him with fascination.
姫君も一口いかがかな?
What do you like one, dear princess?
我が盟友が守り続けた花はなかなかの美味だよ。
The flowers my sworn allies have protected are quite delectable. I finally came to my senses and hurried over to Ankou. Are we gonna actually eat them? Ankou, are you alright? Eating these licorices?
ああ、君たち人間からしたらさぞおぞましい光景だっただろうね。
Was this more confusing than terrifying? You must be terrifying. The sight must be a terrifying one to you humans. That's not what I mean. I'm just worried about you. It's cool, he's immortal.
不死だと分かっているのに
The Watchman of Death. But do you know I am immortal? You told me before you still feel pain. Hearing my somewhat scolding tone, Ankou lowered his head in apology.
姫君の心配痛み入るだが本当に問題はないんだ
I appreciate your concern, dear princess, but I have come to no harm whatsoever.
何を隠そうこのリコリスこそが私の地上における主食でねどうにもハムのをやめられない
To be honest, the Lacracies are my primary source of sustenance while on service. I cannot do without them. Sustenance? Ankou went on to tell me that they bloomed in Hades too, and that consuming them gave him power since the flowers represented death. And here I thought I would no longer be surprised by anything Ankou did. So was the story about growing them for your beloved just a lie so that your Veza's family would grow them for you?
さあどっちだろうね姫君の想像にお任せするよ
Who knows? I'll leave it to your interpretation, dear princess. I think it might have been for us. Ankou smiled, then looked at the wound on my arm.
傷の具合はどうだい
How do you feel? It still hurts a little. But I don't think it'll get any worse since he tended to it right away. Ankou muttered words of relief, but his expression was clouded with gloom.
本当にあの男は不甲斐ないな
Cannot believe how worthless he is after all.
奴がもっと警戒していれば君にこんな傷を負わせることはなかったというのに
Had he been more careful, you would not be wounded in this way.
どこまでも役に立たない男だよ本当に
That man is beyond useless, truly. Don't be mean. That man? As in Adolphe? I was becoming irritated, me too, hearing him blame my foster brother. I don't think anyone could have imagined encountering more than one Bureau. Despite that, Adolphe did his very best to protect me. If you keep blaming my foster brother, I'm gonna be really mad at you. Hearing the sharp tone of my voice, Ankou gave an obvious frown of displeasure.
では私も言わせてもらうが
Then allow me to ask you this.
この世で最も大切な女を傷つけられて機嫌を損ねるなという方が難しいと思わないかな
Do you not think it difficult for me to forgive him when his actions caused harm to the woman most important to me? Most important to you? That wasn't fair. He just made it impossible for me to get angry, since I was more confused than anything else now. But why, Ankou? Ever since we met, why have you been so concerned about someone like me? Ankou went quiet for a moment at my question.
無論それは君が数少ない同胞だから
Why? It is because you are one of my few partners. Is that really the reason?
アドルフは信じられるのに、私の言葉が信じられない？
You believe what Adolphe says, yet you do not believe me. That's not what I mean. But is in case. I mean, I do trust him, yeah. I'm gonna do what... That's not what I mean first. Although I feel like this is the wrong answer, but I mean, it is not what I mean. Yeah, it's the wrong answer. I responded with a wry smile. I'm sorry, but that's not what I mean. I'm saying that the kindness you've shown me goes well beyond that. It seemed he didn't fully understand. In a way, I feel as though I've always known you. If I had another foster brother in my life, he would be someone like you, Ankou. Your kindness toward me doesn't feel like we're just partners. Or am I mistaken?
いや。
No. Ooh, CG.
ああ、君の言うことは何一つとして間違っていないとも。
Indeed. What you're saying is absolutely correct.
私はずっとそれこそ気が遠くなるほど遥か昔から
I've been alive for so long, it feels like an eternity.
この一面のリコリスの花園とともに君が誕生するその時を待ち続けていたんだ。
I waited for that eternity, for you to be born in this field of lycracies. This field of lycracies? Which meant... So, when I was born...
ああ、遠くから見守っていたよ。
Yes. I was watching from afar.
生まれたばかりの君はずっと泣いていて、いつ保護されるのかと心配で仕方なかった。
When you were first born, I heard you crying. I felt anxious about those who took you away in their arms. He wanted so badly to see me then. His voice was filled with countless emotions. Somehow, I felt as though I had heard it somewhere before.
本当はもっと君と早く出会いたかった。
To be honest, I wanted to meet you much sooner.
背負う業に苦しむ君へと手を差し伸べたかった。
I wanted to extend my hand to you, to save you from your suffering.
だが制約のあるこの身ではあの日あの晩までろくに動くことができなかったから。
But I was unable to move until that night, when the restrictions were finally lifted.
今まで君に何もしてやれなかったんだ。助けられなくて。 すまない。
For all those years, I was unable to do anything for you. I'm truly sorry that I could not help. I wanted to tell him not to apologize, but Ankou stopped me with shaking voice.
君を待ち続ける無限の時間に一時は絶望したものだが、
The endless hours of waiting for you, I lived in despair.
君の言葉を聞いたら、今までの苦労などすべて無賛してしまったよ。
But when you first spoke to me, all the pain in my heart vanished in an instant. He leaned his cheek against me.
私の大事なセレス。
My dear Ceres,
私ともう一度巡り合ってくれてありがと
thank you. Thank you for meeting me again.
う。生まれてきてくれてありがと
Thank you for being born into this world.
う。生きることを諦めないでいてくれて。
Thank you for not giving up on life.
本当にありがと
Thank you so very much. His honest voice shook with tears. No one. No one has ever said that to me, besides family. Tears began to roll down my cheeks. I should be thanking you, Ankou. I felt so grateful that you were the one who came to me. Why did the music stop? Ankou tried my tears, seemingly embarrassed for being overcome by his emotions. No, keep doing it. I love it. Suddenly, something fell to the ground from his robe. Adolphe's dagger? Ankou, why did you have that? Ah. You've been carrying it all this time? Since the night I dropped it, Ankou?
う。ああ、だが今の今まで返すのをすっかり忘れていたよ。
Yes, but I completely forgot about returning it to him. Well, I guess I can return it to Adolphe or...
いや、これは後で私から彼に返しておこ
No. I will return it to him later. Why?
う。実はこの探検を拾った後、時間を持て余していたのもあって鞘から抜き刀身を観察していたのだが、
After holding on to it for some time, I began observing the blade out of curiosity and...
うっかり岩の上に落として刃の一部を小さく描いてしまったんだ。
It was then I accidentally dropped it on some rocks, chipping the blade. I don't believe that. Huh?
なので彼には直してから返したい。どうかそれまでは姫君も内密にしてくれないだろうか。
I wish I returned it to him after I have repaired it. Until then, can you please keep this a secret, dear princess? There is more to this, definitely. Hmm. Sure. But please get it fixed soon and return it to him, okay?
もちろんだとも。協力感謝するよ、姫君。
Why, of course. I appreciate your cooperation, dear princess. A few hours later, morning arrived, and Adolphe was able to join us, safe and sound. It seemed that Mother restrained him after they met in the alley. He happened to be found by Cyan and Mathis, who were on the run. They were able to break his chains and promised to meet again later. The first thing Adolphe did was come to me with bloodshot eyes to make sure I was safe.
ようやく来たか、役立たず。
Finally here, you useless bag of meat.
彼女がこうして無事なのは、君が無様に気を失っている間に、リコリスの守護者が身を挺して守ってくれたおかげだ。
You're immortal, you don't risk your life. Usually. Probably. Maybe. The only reason she is safe is because the guardian of the Like Race risked his life to protect her while you were having a nap.
それから、シアン・ブロフィワーズとマティス・クロードにも、せいぜい感謝することだね。
You should also thank Cyan Breathfires and Mathis Claude for playing a significant role in your safe return.
うるさい。そんなこと言われなくても分かってる。
Shut up. You don't have to tell me that. Adolphe? Something was different about him. He would have immediately glared at Ankou and taken him up on a fight. Perhaps something happened between him and Mother. Just as I was about to ask, a sudden sound prompted Adolphe to take out his transmitter.
アドルフか。お前今どこにいる？
Hugo! Adolphe, where the hell are you?
ヒューゴ、どうした？そんな慌てて。イブに何かあったのか？
Hugo, what's so urgent? Did something happen to your Vez?
イブはなんとか無事だが、とんでもねえやつがとんでもねえ事態になっちまってるよ。
No god, what's going on? Your Vez is somehow safe, but we've got an even bigger situation going on our hands.
はあ、マジでシャレにならねえ。この国は一体これからどうなっちまうんだ。
It's no laughing matter. Got no idea where this damn country's headed now.
落ち着け。何があったのか簡潔に説明しろ。
Calm down, explain to me what happened. Ankou and I went next to Adolphe to hear what was going on. Hugo, who was unaware that Ankou and I were listening, took a deep breath and continued.
俺たちの依頼主、シアン・ブロフィワーズが
Our client Cyan Breathfires.
ブローに殺されちまった。
Bitch! You bitch! You bitch! Was killed by Barreau. You fucking bitch.
はあ？
It can't be. I thought he and Mathis were able to escape from Barreau last night. The watchman of death listened, his eyes giving off an eerie glow. Perhaps it was because a new soul was about to enter Hades. Or perhaps... because the person who developed Reliver technology had died. It was only the beginning of the tragedy that had befallen this country. No! I'm not... I don't accept it. No body, no death. No body, no death. If you want me to believe he's dead, show me a body. Otherwise, it didn't happen. I refuse to believe. I refuse it!
も
Why?
う一体何が正しいのか私にはわからない。
What is right and what is wrong? I don't know anymore.
誰か助けてくれ。
Someone, please help.
おい、やめろ。
Hey, stop!
俺のロザリーに近づくな。
Stay away from my Rosalie.
はあ、うるさい男だ。研究設備を提供してやった私と支援者に礼の一つも言えないのか。
What a nuisance. Can't you even thank me and our supporter for providing you with all this equipment? Yeah, that's what I thought.
彼女に手を出されたくなければ、偽りの記憶構築の研究データをすべてこちらによこせと、そう言っているだろう。
If you don't want her to be harmed, do as I say and hand over your research data on constructing false memories. Yeah, this supporter is totally 100% Donuts. Donut, why are you betraying me? First Scientized and Donut's gonna betray me? Betray my trust? I hate this. I hate this.
んなこと許すわけないだろうが。ようやくロザリーの記憶を再現する段階に入れたんだぞ。
Think I'd let you have it? Do you have any idea how long it took me to finally reconstruct Rosalie's memory?
だいたい今までは実験結果の共有だけで済ませてたじゃないか。なんで今さら。
I've already shared the results of my experiments with you. What more do you need?
理由は至極単純。
It is very simple.
記憶の研究が完成に近づいた今、君はもう用済みだと支援者が判断したからだ。
Now that your memory research is nearing completion, our supporter has decided that you are no longer needed.
ふざけるな。お前ら最初から俺を利用するつもりで。
What the hell? You two planned on using me from the very beginning?
さあ、私の忠実なる信と職。
Now, my loyal followers.
彼の恋人をそのカプセルごと我らが拠点まで案内してあげなさい。
Bring back the capsule containing his lover to our base of operations.
腐るのを待つだけの死体とはいえ、女性には違いないからね。丁重に扱うように。
Though she is but a corpse waiting to rot, she is still a lady. Please treat her with care.
はっ。
Yes.
やめろ、ローザリーに汚い手で触れるな。
Just give it up, Jean. Just give it up. And also, where the hell is Mathis? Where is my child? Stop. Don't touch Rosalie with the filthy hands.
これ以上騒ぐようなら君の愛しい恋人をナイフで切り刻ませてもらうことになる。
Any more from you and your dear lover will be chopped into bits.
それが嫌ならおとなしく
If you don't want that,
私たちに従え。どこにでもいる凡人の遺伝子にこだわる物好きが。
be quiet and cooperate. A simpleton who trifles with ordinary genes has no say. Guy, scientists and their frickin' genes. I swear.